On this episode of Hey Hey Linda Purrs, Linda interviews Rainy and JC Garay. Enjoy.
Well, we're here today with Rainy and JC Garay, and I'm happy that I'm got a chance to meet them. They have such an interesting background, and we're all here located in the Nashville area, and they're you're a little southeast of here in Hampshire?
Southwest.
Southwest. Okay, southwest of here. And yeah, I had to look it up to see where. I hadn't heard of that town. Is it a small town?
Yes.
Very? Like a few thousand, maybe? Or anything like that? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
maybe that's why I just never heard of it. And it's kind of off the I-65, right? But you have to go way off. Yes. Because I kind of looked to see where it was, you know. So that makes it nice too, because you know, I can learn about a different town and area and stuff. And I know you have a musical background, but you both are married.
Yes.
And so when did you discover that you had this musical thing going on? Was it before you were married, or did it develop after you were married?
It was before.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, of course, you know, we met. Music was a big part of our relationship, even in the beginning.
Okay. So, and so you both sing, or you mainly do the guitar and she sings, or?
Yes, go ahead.
So I write I'm a songwriter.
Okay.
And my name is Rainy and Garay, and I've been writing since I was, 6 years old.
Wow.
And it's mostly poetry, and then I write poems, and then I take my poems and when I get inspired, I put little melodies to them, and then I use the piano as my instrument of sound.
Okay, to make the whole song, pull it all together. Yeah. So let's see, I know you do a couple different styles, genres of music. What kind of music do you play?
I have a variety of influences, as does he. So it can be anywhere from R&B to Latin jazz. I grew up listening to like Dionne Warwick, Yael Gilberto, Wes Montgomery, music like that. And it just always was a part of my life, like obscure. And then when I got a little bit older, then it was like Pink Floyd, Rush, Journey, Stevie Wonder. I loved the Supremes when I was a little girl. I loved watching them. And I always wanted to be like a part of a duet, a guy-gal duet. So my mother, who is an amazing jazz vocalist, she used to have me and my sisters at the piano when we were very young, and she would sing Dionne Warwick songs, and we would do the harmonies, and she would teach us how to harmonize.
Oh, that's
the different
wonderful.
Parts. And she has perfect pitch, and she's deaf in one ear, but yet when she sings, it's just groundbreaking. Like when she sings, it's just like it permeates every part of you. So, and then my father was also a guitarist, and he would doodle around the house, and he would just be doodling, and I'd be writing little arias and songs to his doodles.
Oh.
Just like playing by myself or with my sisters. I'd hear him and I'd write something to it. And so basically I just have always taken like little events that happen in my life and make it into a poem. Like write it down, journal it, and did a lot of journaling.
They say write what you know about.
Yeah. And then I would later on, once the poem was how I wanted to express myself, then I turned it into a song.
Nice process. I really like that. Now, you also do a little gospel?
I was commissioned by a record company called Hallel Records back in 2007.
Yes.
Halo, like Halo?
Hallel, like in Hallelujah, but Hallel.
Oh, okay.
And they asked me to do a contemporary crossover, but like, of course, in my style. And so I did 25 songs, and out of 25, we put 12, and then we put together an album. And it did okay over in
Yeah, well, still being part of that.
Yeah, it was.
Everything,
cool.
and recording it and getting an album out.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They did all that. I didn't do it. I just went to the studio.
Yeah, still being part of it.
And so I would say my influence are, my styles are R&B, jazz, contemporary rock, soft rock. I like rock. And a heavy Latin, like some of my songs will have a heavy Latin feel. And I love the classic sounding music. Like I'm not, electronics and digital synthesizers and everything is great. But I gravitate more towards, an organic kind of sound.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Instrumentals and things like that.
Well, that's great. So do you, what now at your home, do you guys practice together a lot? Do you, what do you do at home? Do you practice every week? Do you go to songwriter things, or what do you kind of do with your music?
We rehearse, but before we get to that point of rehearsing, she works out everything about the song. Because when she creates the song, she completes it. She'll have a complete version of it in her head.
Right.
And then we'll work on incorporating the guitar, and that usually changes. Like if we have all the band members learning the song, the guitar parts will change because they'll be split off.
Right. I interviewed another gentleman that played down at our spot, Mike Mitchell, and he does his songs, and he calls it folk blues, but he can't really find a band that can do how he wants it to sound. So when he does do a song, it just depends on the band members. If they're rock players, it sounds like a rock song. If they're country players, the songs sound like a country song. So I can see how other instruments, when you add them, kind of change the feel or the sound.
It changes the feel. Because the first guitar that we kind of put together is basically in the event that we have to play the song without the keyboard. So we have to put together the guitar where it fills in all the harmony. Oh,
because you're doing it on a keyboard, right. So then you got to figure out how everything else fits in.
Right. So the two of us playing, just the two of us, she plays the piano, I play the guitar, we fill up the sound. If we bring in more instruments, then we'll start thinning out the parts.
Edit the sounds. So trying to he and I use the piano percussively. So piano is kind of like my percussion section and then my strings. And then I have strings here, but I have more melodic, more, I can bring out certain instruments that I hear. Like if I have a song that incorporated violins, then what I would have him to play would emulate that violin part. And then I would do the drums, bass on, and then the strings on this side. So
you really get a full sound, and you have it all in your head, how you kind of want to get. When she has it all done in her head, then you can help work on it with her.
Yeah, she'll teach me the basic chords.
Yeah. Now, where did you learn to play guitar and music and things?
I started learning when I was in high school. My mom was a musician when she was younger. Her family had a band. Her and her sisters, they played different string instruments. As a matter of fact, they had that instrument that you were talking about that has the head stuck back this way.
Oh, a lute.
A lute, and a couple of the instruments and a guitar. That was I think the guitar was like a flamenco guitar or something like that. So she always used to play different instruments at home, but I wasn't really interested in music until I came to the United States and met one of our cousins. And then from there, I just got into the Beatles, got into rock and roll. And then my brothers and I put a band together, and we just helped each other learn.
Now you came to the United States. Where did you come from?
I was born in Colombia.
Colombia,
South
okay.
America.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting journey in itself. And you didn't originate in the United States here in Nashville. Both of you, did you meet in New Jersey?
Yes.
Is that where you met each other? And you're both living up that way.
Yeah, we actually, even though we both are from New Jersey, obviously we were like worlds apart. Because he lived in a big city called Elizabeth, New Jersey, and I lived in a somewhat small, obscure town called South Orange, New Jersey. And my best friend was dating his brother. So I knew his brother before I knew him.
Okay.
And I couldn't stand his brother. Like, I just wanted him to go away.
This almost didn't happen.
It almost did not. And we actually met before we met. Because my girlfriend and his brother broke up, and when my parents were away one summer, she asked me to take a ride with her to go to his apartment. I didn't know it was his apartment. That's where his brother was staying, to pick up her things because they had broken up. Right. And I agreed to go because it was an adventure. And, you know, I went, and she went in, and I was sitting on the stoop on the front steps on the street where they lived at the time. And he was walking towards the stoop, and I was very young. I had just turned 18. And he said something like, oh, my brother is fighting with his girlfriend. So he was kind of waiting on the front stoop. But in my mind, I was going, oh, my God, stranger danger. So I ran to the car, and I locked the doors. And I waited. And then a couple of weeks later, I guess my best friend and his brother made up. And she asked me to go with her to go shopping because I had money. And then his brother, her boyfriend, said, I need money, and I know my brother has money, so let's go get my brother. So we ended up in the back seat of her car, and that's how we met. Kind of. But we didn't know, and we had seen each other before, you know, after that for quite some time. But we didn't know either one of us. We did not realize that we were both musicians.
Yeah. Oh, what a surprise.
Kind of came out like, oh,
how nice.
You play guitar? Oh, yeah, I like music. I'm a songwriter. So.
Yeah. That's a really nice way. And then you connected, and it surprised both of you probably. And then you had this wonderful life, and now you've ended up here in Hampshire. And you're gonna just continue on with your music and do your songs and that's great. And I understand at your home you sometimes have a gathering and people can play at your house or.
Well, when we lived in New Jersey, we had musicians over at the house all the time.
Oh, that's so neat.
We always did and it was usually around our music, you know. So that was fun, and having young musicians of all ages.
That is
neat.
Our
children being musicians too, and just the whole family, just everybody. Music is we've always been around.
That's exciting. Yeah. I live in the woods, and not many people come up here, so I'm happy when they do. And the place where we're playing at, I'm trying to encourage musicians to come by. I know a lot of musicians don't like to just hang out when other people are playing because they want to play, but sometimes it's just good to sit and talk and get to know each other and know about the industry too. I've learned a lot from other people. I've learned about what's going on in Nashville and what the things to do. So that's really neat. You had an open house of music. Isn't that exciting?
All the time, like Monday through Sunday. We always had full of musicians. And then when we moved out here, we kind of lost that.
You're in a tiny town now.
Yeah, because it's a small town, and there's really not, like in New Jersey, there was a lot of musicians who wanted to play. And that's what I find so interesting, because you would think that the Nashville area, more musicians would be, we would kind of get together more. We would be a little bit more open to joining in one another, not necessarily for the purposes of making it, because I don't even think that's relevant anymore.
Right, just do it like a front porch, front porch music, and they do that in this area.
And I know they have songwriter circles, and I've been to quite a few. I've been invited to some of those songwriter circles, and it just seems like, it gets lost in translation, because I think a lot of musicians are like, well, I've played with so-and-so and such and such, and I know so-and-so and such, and I've got this friend who does so-and-so and such and such. And I there was this picture that I saw, it was a portrait in one of these antique stores that I visited in New Jersey years ago. And it was a picture of, it was an old-timey picture. And it was all kinds of old men and women, and they were sitting on the porch, on the floor, and they had, one had a washboard, one had a banjo, black man had a harmonica, and the white man had a broom with the strings and everything, and they were just laughing, and, you know, all these different, you know, walks of life coming together just to have cornbread and music. Yeah. And it's like, man, looking at that portrait, you would think, man, you know, like, that's what I want. Like, I want people to just come by with their Strat or with their, you know, guitar or their banjo and just be like on the phone, oh, we're going to Rainy's or we're going to JC's. We're going to have some cornbread and moonshine or cornbread and music or whatever. I don't know how to get back to that. Like, obviously I wasn't there for that. But
your dream, how you envisioned Nashville.
Yeah, and it made such an impression on me. But that in actuality, that's, you know, people are looking for the working, paying gigs. And that's what I find. Yeah. That's what I've come across.
I think if you, you know, as you run into people, keep telling people you're open to that, that could happen for you. Yeah. Because I understand, you know, because I'd like to have people here just playing and just listening to them and everything. So, but I think you know, if you have that thought, I think you can find the people. They just don't know you're there, maybe, or what, you know, what they're going on. Yes. Well, I really enjoyed talking with you. This is it's an eye opener. You know, everything you've been through and done, and your music backgrounds. And so we're going to have a song by you in just a minute. Do you know what song you're going to sing? Oh.
Yes, I think she wants to sing Runaway.
Runaway? And now this is one you wrote?
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort between me, JC Garay, my husband, and our dear friend Jeffrey Miller, who passed away a couple of years ago. Okay, Runaway. But it's one of those songs that we cherish, and we haven't played it in a while, and so he said to me, what songs do you think you'd play? And I'd say, well, let's play Runaway.
Okay, so it has special meaning.
It does.
Yeah, special meaning. Well, you might as well get that on this. Yeah. So I'm really glad to interview you, and thank you for coming here, and it's a joy to meet you. And
thank you.
And so we'll hear your song in just a minute.
Okay.
I'm Rainy Garay.
And I'm JC.
And this is called Runaway. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm gonna run away, run back into something like what you just did.
This episode of Hey Hey Linda Purrs is sponsored by... Come on down to Grandpa's Music at 1033 Park Street in Westmoreland. Live bluegrass, country, and gospel music every Saturday night. Shows start at 6 p.m. and admission is $8. First Fridays we feature karaoke and Grandpa's Music Jam Session 10 to 2 p.m. on the second and fourth Tuesday. New and seasoned musicians are always welcome for music lessons, so bring the whole family. Grandpa's Music at 1033 Park Street in Westmoreland.